Now, welcome to this new lecture, that is a special economic zone. Okay, what is a special economic zone? What STP? What is SEZ? We will talk about in this lecture. Okay, so as an introduction part, what exactly is SEZ? So it is those environment or those land that are given by the government to produce something with low tax. So recently there was a period specified, like if you are developing any SEZ, so 5-year tax evasion period was given, like in those period you won't need to pay such taxes. So in this year March 2020, that SEZ will be ending, that for tax reduction and all has been ended also. So we will see like different types of industries, like if you see Infosys, so Infosys you will find in Hyderabad, there will be Infosys SEZ. Then you will find STP, that is a software technological park. So what is the difference between SEZ and SEP? So SEZ is not a specific not designated for a specific part only, like it is not targeted for software only or for manufacturing a particular things only. Okay, it is for overall development of the area also. And STP is like software technological park, that is related to your softwares only. So there is a designated target is set for STP, that it is for software on. So SEZ is not for targeted one. So let us see what exactly is SEZ. Recently there was a demand in increase the SEZ, as they are important role in getting up the economy. And after independence there were many issues in India to grow into a manufacturing nation. So why is it so demand in nature of SEZ? Because it provide lots of employment. It generate a huge number of employment. So if you compare like for large software company only, like Infosys and TCS and all, so they are generating around 10,000 11,000 from one buildings only. Okay, one structure or one location only. And for manufacturing that is of industries near seaports also, the SEZ building there in those industries also, that will help in generating the employment. And because of these regions also, that SEZ, the regions present around those areas will also be developed. Okay, so it is an overall development for these regions, and it will ultimately increase the economy of our country. Okay, so India then created a different kind of new initiative that will help in the economy. And at that India, like after independence, at that India was new and did not know how to rule, like because of colonial era we were dependent upon the colonial eras only. How the British were doing, we just copied and pasted it. So India was completely new in business. Okay, so they didn't know what to do and how to do. Okay, so it was going on the legacy of British administration, as I've said. So such as to set up a company need lots of permission. That was, we call it as a license raj was going on. So for set up industry, you have to go from lots of chair at that time, and after going on the chairs you have to pay a bribe also for all those things. So license raj was abolished after that also. See, so that from this only, so SEZ concept came. So such as to set up company need lots of permission, so further need a big infrastructure and well structured process. There was a license raj at that time. So if you open industry, you need to have a license from it. So restriction on production of the items. So India came up with export processing zone, that first in Asia, that is in Kandala in India 1965. Okay, India came up with export processing zone. So after then we'll get a SEZ. So a territory get marked as SEZ. It is focused with the creation of business with multiple objectives. It is not targeted with the single objectives that I have talked about in the STP. STP is targeted for software one. Okay, so that is focused with the creation of business with the multiple objectives, and focused on the growth of economic increase, exports, invite capitals as investment from domestic as well as foreign sources. And what the company will be benefited? Company will be benefited in the tax for this particular period of time. In starting it was given 5 years. Now I think in 2020 it will be complete. So for those countries like which came from 5 years, so for them it will be over. For 5 years it will be over. After that it was extended for 10 years also. So the countries so the industries which came under those period, they will be get benefited, and the industries which are not whose period is getting over, they will be, now they have to pay the tax. So under SEZ we have a single window approval of mechanism. You don't have to go multiple tables. If you are going from multiple tables, it means the bribery and corruption will increase. So the SEZ is playing a very important role also in decreasing the corruption from a country. So it act as a single window approval mechanism for SEZ, and IAS person will be the chairman of that board of approval. So one board of approval will be there, and the chairman of that board of approval will be your IAS officer. And facilities and incentives will be provided under SEZ, so such as no import duty applicable. Like if you are importing something from outside of India, no import duty will be applicable, and income tax exemption was till March 2020. This thing I was talking about. And many other taxes now are subsumed under GST. There are many, some type of act and all there were present, so all are maximum parts are subsumed under GST. And it will generate employment along with the infrastructure development. In India is lacking behind the infrastructure development, and now our government is forcing on the infrastructure development of our country. It is calling lots of foreign investors in our country for infrastructure development. Okay, issues it has been seen majorly domestic market was neglected. Now the issues with the SEZ only that they are targeting for the foreign one, and our domestic market are being neglected because of SEZ. So this is one of the major issues. Like government is giving this, see, this SEZ is not a very small thing, it is a very big area, very big companies are involving there, and it is generating employment. So these are the benefits, but the issue is like we have neglected the domestic market from this. So the companies, those who don't have a potential come under the SEZ will lag behind. Okay, so this is the issue under SEZ only. So the complete overview of the summary, like what exactly it will act as. So the definition of a special economic zone, it is like it is an enclave with the country that is typically duty free and has different business and commercial laws, chiefly to encourage investment and create employment. Okay, so such as no import duty, income tax exemption, and income tax exemption was till March 2020. Okay, then why was the SEZ policy announced? What is the reason behind it? So there were multiple controls and many clearance to obtain before starting a venture. Okay, and infrastructure facilities were shoddy and well below world standards in India. So what are the we still know, if you want to see, go to government hospital, government offices, you will see that infrastructure are not very good. Even for the many private industries also, you won't find good infrastructure. So now government is targeting for developing the infrastructure move. So from last 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, we will find the good infrastructure present in the software industries, software related zones, and or some manufacturing zones also. Okay, so the fiscal regime was unstable as well, and in order to attract huge foreign investment into the country, the government announced the SEZ policy. Come into India, we will give you some tax exemption from import duty. We will also allow, we will exempt. Come into India, invest, open the SEZ. So the Parliament passed the Special Economic Zones Act in 2005, and after many consultations and deliberations. Okay, so lots of things happened in this. Like in India, still land acquisition is a very tough process. Acquisition law. So these all will be done into one paper. So like forest zone, is it coming in the environmental zone, are you getting impact on the environment? So all the paper will be cleared by one window clearance is provided. That overall it will be called as one window clearance. The act came into force along with the SEZ rules in 2006. So what is a Special Economic Zones Act 2005? It is defined as an act to provide for the establishment development management of the special economic zones for the promotion of exports and for matters connected with the incidental, like for the matter with exports and all, for the foreign industries and all. Okay, getting the import, you will get the exemption from the tax. So objectives of SEZ Act: to create additional economic activity, to generate employment, to boost the export of goods and services, and to make foreign investment into India, to develop infrastructural facilities. Okay, so these were the main objectives for the SEZ Act. And SEZ's facilities and incentives were like: the government offers many incentives for the companies and business established under the SEZ, and some of the important ones are duty-free import or domestic procurement of goods for developing and operating, maintaining SEZ units, and 100% income tax exemption on export income for SEZ units under the Income Tax Act for first 5 years. Okay, first is that duty-free import or domestic procurement of goods for developing, operating, and maintaining SEZ units. So this is completely free. Now 100% income tax exemption to export income. What is exporting income you are getting for SEZ units under the Income Tax Act for first 5 years, 50% for next 5 years then you have to pay, and thereafter 50% for the plowed back export profit for next 5 years. Okay, now in March 2020 it has been over. Sunset clause for the units will become effective from 2020. That is, after this, now you will become free, run the countries however, run the industry, not country, run the industries however you want to. It is your responsibility. So units are exempted from minimum alternate tax, and they were exempted from central sales tax, service tax, and state sales tax. Now everything you are subsumed under GST. Lots of tax are subsumed under GST, so that these have now been subsumed under GST, and supplies to SEZs are zero rated under the IGST Act. Okay, single window clearance for central and state levels approvals. There is no need for a license for import, and in the manufacturing sector, barring a few segments like 100% FDI is allowed, it was not allowed, and profits earned are permitted to be repatriated freely with no need for any dividend balancing. That is a profit from the PSUs and all. There is no need for separate documentation for customs and export import policy. As I've said, single window clearance, like the main motive is to make it less complex. Okay, make it more fast as possible for clearance of the paper. Many SEZs offer developed plots and ready to use space. And apart from the firms operating in SEZs, developers of SEZs also receive many benefits and incentives from the government. Okay, so SEZs in India, like challenges and SEZs in India, like currently about 240 are operational in the country, and about 64% of SEZs are located in 5 states. So which are those states? Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Maharashtra. But now in that, if you break Andhra Pradesh into two, that is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, then you will find Infosys there, that is a SEZ. Okay, and in 2018 to 19, about 20 lakh jobs were created through SEZs, and the most of special economic zones being set up are primarily private investment driven. And challenges with respect to the special economic zones. So since SEZs offer a wide range of incentives and tax benefit, it is believed that many existing domestic firms may just shift base to SEZs. Other domestic firms are getting affected because of SEZs. Our domestic market also get hit by the SEZs, the profit that they are getting, because they are very large industries. Okay, and there is a fear that promotion of SEZs may be at the cost of fertile agricultural land, affecting food security, loss of revenue to the exchequer, and cause uneven growth with the adverse effect. So if you go to the SEZ, they occupied a very large area, and in India land acquisition is the biggest problem for us for development. Okay, apart from food security, water security is also affected because of the diversion of water used for SEZ. SEZ consumes lots of water, and if you see SEZs use normally private sector generate their own electricity by setting up a solar power plant and all. Okay, so if you go for Infosys SEZ, we have seen that they are producing their electricity by the solar plate present there. Then whatever the employees eat and all, you will get those wasted food will be get in the biodegradable waste, and from that the gas generated from it they use for cooking one. So mostly they try to be independent, they don't try to dependent upon the on the government side. Okay, and SEZs also cause pollution in some cases, but for the Infosys one it is not like that. SEZs also cause pollution, especially with the release of untreated effluents. There has been a huge destruction of mangrove in Gujarat, affecting the fisheries of dairy sectors. Okay, so I have seen SEZ, I went to there. So for the Infosys one, this was not the case. Like you are not getting, it was not creating any pollution, as the electricity was with help of solar plate. Then bikes running, most of the bikes running within the campus with the employees were electric scooters and all. Okay, so I hope you like the video. I have given some extra information also, and the payment that you can make for this video is by only subscribing it. I'm not asking anything, and I will make demand on video. If you ask, go to my Twitter handle, ask me there, ping me there, I will help you. For the notes also, for the PPT or any suggestions, you can give me there. Okay, thank you.